It's Thursday, April 21st, 2022, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, the Prime Minister addresses the future of digital assets, business picking back up on the Family Islands. We learn about gender disparity in autism, and our Carifta team celebrated. So let's start the morning off right.
The Morning Edition is brought to you by We Buy, You Sell Company, your leading hurricane impact windows, doors, and tile specialist.
Quality means doing it right when nobody is looking. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Edition. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And good morning, everybody. Why do I always feel like somebody is watching me? Good morning. We have a jam-packed show for you this morning. Before we get to traffic, let you know what's happening out there weather-wise as we bring it up on the screen. As we are waking up to 73 degrees, partly sunny, winds east at 12 miles per hour, humidity 73%. Now, a stationary front along with a surface trough in the vicinity of the central and southeast Bahamas will continue to weaken while a robust high-pressure system centered north of the area supports moderate to occasionally strong winds across the island chain today. Your high temperature today, 84 degrees Fahrenheit, overnight low of 72. And yes, the National Family Island Regatta gets underway over there in Georgetown, Exuma this morning, but they are having some windy conditions, and that's how we're looking for the weekend. Windy with a thunderstorm on Friday, 81 in the day, 72 at night, and then on Saturday, some extra strong winds subsiding, 82 in the day, 72 at night.
$1 trillion is the mind-blowing figure tagged to the global cryptocurrency market, one the Bahamas is positioning itself to become a leader in. And to do so, government has tabled its vision and proposed framework to guide a local digital asset policy.
We cannot delude ourselves into thinking that the old economic models are a sufficient basis for dynamic, inclusive growth and prosperity. Post-Dorian and post-COVID, there's much damage to be repaired. This potential economic benefit is, in fact, a central motivation for the development of this digital asset policy.
The Bahamas will play host to a major cryptocurrency conference set for next week here in the capital, with the central bank sand dollar project and virtual currencies like Canoe already circulating locally. Crypto consultant Wayne Johnson is convinced that the 4-day conference will boost the knowledge of both locals and businesses still operating outside the digital marketplace.
So many cryptocurrency companies are going to look to the Bahamas in terms of come to look at the opportunities that exist here. Then you also have the spin-off from digital assets and digital management and the whole aspect of digital consulting, cryptocurrency consultings. And so you have the opportunity is tremendous. Bahamians are involved in this space. Bahamians are doing exceptionally well in this space. And I know that Bahamians who are seeking out the opportunities is going to be able to move at a different level.
Prime Minister Davis addressing the 7th ministerial meeting of the Coalition of Finance Ministers for Climate Action, stating that small island developing states like the Bahamas continue to be impacted by global climate change, despite contributing little to the greenhouse gas emissions fueling the problem. The Prime Minister stressed that 2019's Category 5 Hurricane Dorian is a prime example.
As a country on the front line of climate change, we believe it is of the utmost importance to keep the global goal of 1.5 degrees Celsius within reach, as this is a critical threshold to ensure the survival of small island developing states and least developed countries. An important tool for achieving this goal is the mobilization of climate finance to ensure that countries can meet national mitigation and adaptation targets.
Good news for the labor market as the International Monetary Fund's World Economic Outlook is predicting that the unemployment rate will decrease to 13.8% this year and decline even further in 2023 to 12.7%. The report pegs general government revenue at $2.4 billion this year and $2.6 billion next year. Regarding inflation, the IMF predicts it will increase by 7.3% in 2022, dropping to 4.5% in 2023. The public eagerly awaits further relaxations to COVID-19 restrictions. This as government is closely monitoring no mask mandates in wake of a United States federal court judge striking down the Center for Disease Control's mask mandate for public transportation that had been extended to May 3rd. However, infectious disease specialist Dr. Nakia Forbes advises that COVID restrictions should be rolled back carefully.
It is possible with the rollback of that, there could be an increase in cases. And in some places in the U.S. now, where cases are doubling, they're calling for reinstatement of mask mandates in public indoor spaces. So you have to be very careful to balance this, because if you cause an uptick or a surge in cases, you may have to reinstate certain things. So we have to take a very measured, cautious and prudent approach when it comes to rolling back these restrictions. And so we're going to watch and see a little while longer on that one.
5 new COVID-19 cases reported in the latest release from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, all from the capital. 3 of the new cases have a history of travel within the past 14 days. Hospitalizations remain at 5, with 15 new recoveries. And business at Family Island hotels continuing to pick back up. This from Executive Director of the Bahamas Out Island Promotion Board, Kerry Fountain, who says figures have definitely increased since the onset of COVID-19 2 years ago.
All of our members collectively are realizing about 80% in room revenue compared to the same period in 2019. So we're definitely seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. We're in that light. And we just need to continue to do the things that we've been doing over the past several months that have caused the CDC to upgrade us to a level 1.
Good morning, Fisher and Ladon, and good morning, Bahamas. Your Thursday morning traffic report is coming to you live from Shirley Street and Kemp Road. Quite a busy area this morning, I must say. So many cars whizzing past. Don't mind that one going slow there. Nonetheless, with us this morning, as always, is Corporal Patrick Kemp of the Royal Bahamas Police Traffic Division. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Good morning, Anjane, and good morning, Bahamas. Nice to be here.
So, Cam, as the cars went by this morning, I noticed a certain someone had pretty dark tints. I won't say who that certain someone is, but you know who it is. So what is the issue with the tints? Tell us all about it.
Yeah, we both saw that individual, and we both know what it is. And you know what? I want to encourage the road users out there to please continue to adhere to the rules and the regulations that are in the law. And in keeping up with the Commissioner's policy, my job is to help to maintain and enforce those laws. One of those is these heavily tinted vehicles and the excuses that persons use for having them. Unless you are in the VIP business, taxi business, or a cab driver, limo driver, where you might have some special persons come in and we tend to conceal their identity, you don't need to have your vehicle heavy tinted. And then when officers stop you, your excuse is, well, you don't want the interior of your vehicle to be messed up. That's not an excuse for having your vehicle excessively down. Also, definitely not a good excuse is, well, you know, I transport money in my vehicle and drop off and pick up money. That is definitely not a valid excuse. In fact, that is dangerous. You are creating a crime of opportunity for these would-be criminals to target you. And I would think that we had learned by now from the amount of criminal activities that have been taking place to seek to do better things in terms of safety.
Kemp, what is the fine for persons who may have a heavily tinted vehicle? And what is heavily tinted, by the way? Because I feel like it's all subjective. Is it not? Or?
Well, no, it's not subjective. In fact, the law is very clear. Windows or windshield that is not of transparency, that is considered heavily tinted. You know, you're standing right in the front of a vehicle and you can't see the person and you're right in the front of the vehicle. That is excessively down. 5%, 15%, even 20%. If you have your whole entire vehicle 20%, it can obscure the officer who needs to see what's going on in your vehicle. And people tend to say, hey, but this is my private vehicle. And it might be so that it's your private vehicle that you're utilizing on the government road. And we have the laws that we have to enforce. And if the laws are, hey, we need to see what's happening in your vehicle for safety reasons, especially considering what be taking place on our streets of late, we need to. And so the fine is $75 for windows not being of transparent glass.
All right, well, a reminder to those who may have heavily tinted windows, you might not want to reach in your pocket for that $75. And I think that's all the time we have for now. Don't touch your remote. We're going to take a break and be right back.
So when you look at the complement of women that we have across the business today, they're in the commercial field, they're in the IT field, the technology field. We've been very strategic and that women had a place not only at the table, but also that different views and not just one voice is being heard to ensure that we're providing innovative and creative solutions to our customers to enable their lifestyle to be even more seamless as we go forward.
There's a spark of greatness in each of us. That spark is called personality. Individual gifts and talents provide the fuel to set that spark ablaze. Each child has the right to an education which values their personality and nurtures their talents, while teaching them to be respectful to their parents and their cultures.
Autism Awareness Month sparking calls globally for better diagnostic tests for women and girls with autism. Here's Antoinette Smith.
A diagnosis sometimes easily missed.
Because the girls don't fit into that social norm, it may get overlooked.
Autism Awareness Month shining a brighter spotlight on a stunning disparity. For every 4 boys diagnosed with the spectrum disorder, only 1 girl will be detected. So, why are autistic girls hiding in plain sight?
They tend to imitate other young girls in their classrooms. They tend to they can look at you, they can smile like you. So they kind of mimic everybody else in type of social situations where they can progress and nobody really knows what's really happening in terms of their social dysfunction.
It's a phenomenon researchers have dubbed as masking. Simply put, girls are better at mirroring social cues. As a result, girls are typically diagnosed 1 to 2 years later than their male counterparts, some going unaware until their adult lives, others falling completely under the radar.
When they come to a certain age and then you find out that they're not able to communicate certain things and you're like, well, what's happening here? And then two, some autistic girls tend to have risks of developing depression or self-esteem issues because they're not sure what's happening with them. So they're like, okay, I'm just gonna keep quiet about it until they get that formal diagnosis.
So here's what to look out for.
There's like repetitive behavior, lack of social skills, lack of communication, like those kinds of things. But if you have a higher functioning person, kind of mask that, you can look for symptoms that look like kind of relying on the other person, like another person to help them communicate. You can look at, they might be interested in like a TV show, but they can't tell you anything what's going on in the TV show.
Additional resources can be found at your local doctor's office and online at the autismresourcecenter.com.
It's a busy time for the Department of Culture. A number of different initiatives are on the table, and this morning we're joined by Therese Nixon and Anya Bowe. Ladies, welcome to the Morning Edition.
For having us.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Bahamas. Good morning, lady.
So Ms. Nixon, we'll start with you. Talk us a little bit first about the National Anthology and what is expected from this series.
All right, we're looking for persons who have always been wanting to enter their short stories in a competition. And so the National Anthology, our deadline, of course, is April the 26th. But you can write a fiction story. You can write something that happened, but 1,500 to 2,000 words. That's easy to do. And just submit it to us. Yeah, email it to us. We're going to look at it, and hopefully your particular story will be added to the anthology. This is going to be a yearly thing. It's so exciting. I mean, people have already begun sending in their stories. You know, Bahamians love to tell stories, so it's really great.
Talk us about the Sing Your Song competition.
Oh my goodness, Sing Your Sing, Sing Your Sing.
Sing Your Sing,
This young lady right here, Anya, she could tell you a little bit more about it, but Sing Your Sing, in essence, this particular month, we're dealing with persons who, look here, you think you could sing, you want to sing, go ahead and record yourself singing a hymn and send it in, and you never know, you may win as well. So it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of interaction, and this is an opportunity to let our people show their talents and let it shine.
Yes, like Miss Nixon said, this competition is all for the people who have a song in their heart. If you have a hymn or something that you really want to, get out there to the public, you want to bless the community with, we definitely want you in this competition. And like we said, it's an online competition. And so you would of course go to find all of the information to our Facebook page, which is the Division of Cultural Affairs and also the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture.
And what is actually Culture Under the Stars event? What is that about?
Culture Under the Stars is actually a collection of various artists and artisans that we will be reaching out to, who will be performing and showing their artistry under the stars, so to speak. Yes. So, it's actually going to be a fantastic event.
Fort Charlotte is going to be on fire.
Oh, yes. Fort Charlotte is going to be on fire.
So we do have singing, we have spoken word, we have bands, we have dance items. So it's a kaleidoscope of performances. It's going to be fantastic.
And I know a number of Bahamians are excited about this next one, poetry writing. You guys are also spearheading a workshop as well.
Potent poetry, yes. And so for those persons who, again, you love to write, this is your opportunity to be a part of a workshop. And you'll give us the dates for that workshop right now.
Right, so the Potent Poetry Workshop is April 22nd at 6:30 p.m. and April 23rd at 10 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. So that's April 22nd at 6:30 p.m. and April 23rd at 10 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. And of course, like I said, you can find all of this information for all of the workshops and everything that we're doing on our Facebook pages and our social media pages. So follow us at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture and the Division of Cultural Affairs.
All right, Anya Bo and Therese Nixon, thank you guys so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition. All the best to you, the team over there at the Department of Culture. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great to be here. Have a great day.
A financial donation given to 3 primary schools here in New Providence to facilitate after-school programs is already reaping some positive results. Here's Carla Palmer.
Launched over a month ago to assist those Albury Sales primary school students negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, the after-school program, sponsored by philanthropist, Chief Executive Officer of Electro Telecoms, Paul Smith, is well underway.
They probably would be behind a grade level.
Alexis Mortimer is a first-grade teacher and literacy coordinator. She is working hard to help get those 17 students enrolled in the Leaping for Literacy and Numeracy after-school program back on track.
The pandemic really put them at a deficit because they come from homes where it's not print-friendly. So a lot of the students don't have access to books. They don't have access to reading material. And so basically when they come to school is when they get a lot of exposure.
The students meet 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday for 2 hours a day, an hour before school and an hour after school.
So first grade, we had a lot of students that come in not knowing letter sounds, not knowing even how to identify letters. It's really important that we at least get them reading. It's so important that we get them to a level that they can function at least.
Principal Shirlene Wallace encourages other corporate sponsors to step up as the program needs to be extended and expanded.
The wish would be for us to have the program
from grades 1 up to grade 6. While the after-school program was launched here, it's not just limited to this school. Woodcock and Yellow Elder Primary Schools are also part of the initiative.
It's going very well. I just want to say a big thank you to Mr. Paul Smith. We're seeing slow, but we're seeing progress.
We can't change the world, but if we can change the life of one child at a time, we really are grateful.
And as we head to the break, we take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On April 21st, 1958, the ban on the sale of dynamite was removed after being enforced since a general strike in January of that year. Also on this day in 1981, the Bahamas won the Carifta Track and Field Championships for the second consecutive year, finishing with 43 medals, one ahead of Jamaica.
Swim Customs Clearance Software is the trusted brand of hundreds of thriving Bahamian businesses. Expertly engineered by ISL Bahamas for seamless single window management with smart features like proration logic, designed to expedite the completion of accurate customs duty calculations. A searchable tariff index that matches each entry with its corresponding tariff code. Swim separates taxable and tax-free entries automatically and significantly refines your customs clearing experience. Brokers, importers, shippers, couriers. Are you drowning in an ocean of customs clearance mayhem? Call 356-5592 or visit islbahamas.com and start clearing customs digitally with single window management. Swim, the stress-free customs clearance software.
Just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim, 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 swim.
Our Carifta Track and Field teams are back home. Track and Field returned home late Tuesday night while swimming touched down yesterday afternoon at the Lyndon Pindling International Airport. From there, a celebration was held for both teams at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium.
14 gold medals, 22 silver medals, and 29 bronze medals, for a total of 65 medals. Speaks to the collective accomplishment of this team.
The Bahamas captured 4 gold medals, 6 silver medals, and 7 bronze medals. And I saw the will, the determination on each and every athlete that represented us proudly.
This minister, this administration believe in empowering you, giving you all that you need to be all who you need to be. Trust in yourself. Believe the process.
After a 2-year hiatus, sales are finally going up this morning at the National Family Regatta in Georgetown, Exuma. The island's Member of Parliament, the Honorable Chester Cooper, who is also Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, expects the 4-day event to significantly boost the island's economy.
We're going to have a great time in Exuma. Everyone's excited about it. Yes, it's good for the economy. All of the hotels and rental cars are booked out. Family and friends are staying at their relatives. I suspect some people will be staying on beaches, which is safe to do in Exuma. This is going to be a wonderful time to have regatta back. As you know, as a result of COVID, it's been a 2-year cancellation, and everyone is excited that it's back. This is a celebration, not just for the economy, not just to say that we are reopened for business after COVID, but it's a celebration of sloop sailing. This is going to be the national sport of the Bahamas in short order, and everyone's looking forward to getting back on the water and enjoying this Bahamian tradition.
At Bank of the Bahamas, we give you lots of reasons to love your life.
We offer the lowest rates in the country on debt consolidation and consumer loans. And we help you save with our low-rate switch mortgages. Need a new car? Simply apply for a BOB auto loan and hit the road.
And saving is so easy with higher interest and no monthly maintenance fees.
It's time to live and laugh again. Love the life you live with BOB, your bank of solutions.
Visit Home Care and Electrical and Home Decor, your one-stop shop on Joe Farrington Road, just west of the traffic light. We carry a full line of electrical and plumbing supplies, a huge stock of appliances upstairs, refrigerators, stoves, freezers, washers, dryers, plus we have all the household items you need. Right next door, you'll find Andros Beauty Supply for all your health and beauty needs, from hair colors, facial creams and soaps, to weaves and caps and so much more. Home Care and Electrical and Home Decor and Andros Beauty Supply, all in one building, Joe Farrington Road, open every day, including Sunday.
At Home Care, we guarantee you the best prices in the Bahamas.
By giving unconditionally, not expecting anything in return, I thought was a wonderful way of showing this love, and I believe that it is love that truly draws people, and so I thought we could cover a lot more people by feeding. Volunteers, you know, they have truly been sold.
My passion is to help, and I thank God for what I can do through the help of Bahamas Feeding Network.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day,
we're just like you.
Living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
The police force and Fox Hill Urban Renewal team up to launch a community band. Officer in charge of the Fox Hill Division, Chief Superintendent Mark Barrett, lets us in on how the initiative bridges the community.
We have a lot of young people that reside within the Fox Hill community. There are numerous communities that falls within the Fox Hill jurisdictional boundary. And what we are trying to do is to bridge these communities together. And one way of doing that is through music. And so we decided that we're going to team up with Urban Renewal Office, Ms. Camp, and her team here. And then we're going to form something that is more endemic to Fox Hillian. And hence the Fox Hill Community Band.
Ever heard of World Bat Day? Well, it's usually celebrated during the month of April, and here in the Bahamas, there's quite a few species. Krista Darling tells us more.
Have you ever seen a bat? Well, if you wanted to, you wouldn't have to look very far. There are quite a bit living here in the caves on West Bay Street. Bahamas National Trust senior scientist Dr. Anselino Davis tells us more about these fascinating creatures.
In the Bahamas, we actually have 11 different species of bats. On some islands, we have more than others. On Long Island, for example, in the Hamilton Caves area, we have 7 to 8 species of bats that are there. In this island, I've only seen the Buffy flower bat, but that doesn't mean that there aren't other species here. It's just more difficult for us to get into or find caves that haven't been disturbed on this island. A lot of the other islands are more wild or have caves that haven't been disturbed.
Among these species, there's one bat that's exclusive to the Bahamas. Davis explains how these bats play an important role in the environment.
With Bahamian bats, they've lived and existed on these islands for so long, separated from all those other diseases, that when a new disease comes in, they're usually very vulnerable. So that's something that we do have to think about. We have to protect our borders as best we can and really educate people on the difficulty of protecting our native species. And like I said, we have our Bahamian funnel-eared bat that's not found anywhere else in the world, and it has a really restricted range. So if we do get a disease like that in our Bahamian caves, that could spell disaster for that species.
And here's another reason why having these bats around are a good thing.
So it's really important for Bahamians to know that they exist, but also to know the importance of these species. We're always complaining about insects like mosquitoes or sandflies. And for a tiny insect eater like a Gervais funnel-eared bat, the things that they're going to eat are the same little bugs that are annoying us. So it's good to have them around. And they also help to prevent the spread of mosquito-borne diseases, which is really important for us as well.
So the next time you think about bats, don't be scared. Instead, think about the important role they play in the circle of life.
Not the bats that you should be afraid of, it's the people. Now be sure to stay tuned into the ZNS Network for as it happens. News and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into the Northern Edition at 6:30 and the Bahamas tonight at 7 o'clock. And that's a wrap for the morning edition. I'm the Bat. I'm out of here.
Have a great morning.